We're going to do today, a couple of the goals are, we're going to go over two different tools. One of them is AI Companion for Zoom. So it's within your Zoom tenant. And I'll show you how to get there. I'm going to give you all a PDF by the end of the session that you can take away that'll have, it's really this particular document here is what I'm going to share with you all at the very end. So you'll have the same information. But we're going to go over AI Companion and give you an overview and how to enable a couple of the key features that are within it, especially if you're doing sessions with your classes. This can be helpful to be able to have for you, and not only for you, for your students afterward, as far as some of the talking points that you may have during your sessions with your students as well. So we'll go over that in just a minute. And then I'll go over Microsoft Copilot and show you how to get logged in and enable the actual Copilot that we have through our Microsoft license. Because we have I think it's an E3 or E5 license, we get a little bit upgraded version of Copilot, which is the protected version. And what that means is basically you end up having you can put stuff into it and know that it doesn't go anywhere. You know, when you go and you put stuff into ChatGPT or Google Bard or one of those, they could possibly be scraping all of the information you're putting in there and using it to train things. Whereas with this protected version of Copilot, you know it's really not going anywhere. And like any of these tools and any AI tools, I always tell people, don't ever put things in there that you don't want out there. Don't put people's names in there. I will never put even my own name or anybody else's name. I'll never put it in there. I'll always just say professor of, like I teach educational technology, and I'll say, you're a professor of educational technology. And I don't tell them, oh, by the way, you know, you're my name or whatever. I won't mention my students' names. So just anything sensitive, you never want to use it, even though they say this is protected as well. So we'll go over that and I'll show you how to enable that. So let me go ahead and jump right into, if you go to your dashboard, and let me sign back in and go into Zoom. So from Okta, you just go right into Zoom. And then once you're in Zoom, and here, this is where you're going to turn on these different features. So you'll want to scroll down to a section. You'll see one called AI Companion, and I'll go over that in a minute of what you can find there. That's where your meeting summaries will exist. But down under the Settings tab, right under here, click that, and then you'll see multiple tabs up at the top here when this comes up. One of them is AI Companion. And so this is where you're going to turn on your different AI Companion features. So we'll go ahead and click AI Companion here. And you'll see that you have a couple of different features that you can turn on. You'll see both of mine are toggled on and they show in blue and they're to the right. That means they're on. The first one is called Meeting Summary with AI Companion. Basically, what that does is it's reading the transcript of everything that's happening right now, going on. It knows who each person is because we're all logged under our particular username. And it reads all of the information that's in there. And I'll show you in just a minute what it produces. But basically, it gives you a summary of your conversation or your meeting that you just had, of everything in it. And then it also can give you some tasks and to-dos to walk away from. Just know this is like any AI tool, that it is not perfect. And there are things that it can produce or not produce that you think it should have or shouldn't have put on there. So we always tell people, if you decide to use it and you decide to send it out to your meeting attendees or somebody else, make sure you go through it first, because chances are there's some stuff that you're going to remove or you're going to have to modify because it's not going to catch everything. But it does a pretty good job. And so you can see here, include the full summary text in the email sent to users. This one right here is basically, I have it to where it only shows me the summary. It doesn't share it with anybody here, but I could say all meeting attendees could actually get this summary right away after the meeting. So you could toggle one of those on if you want. I just keep it for me, and then I could go through and make changes to it and then send it out to the group as needed. A lot of times you might not even send that out to the whole group. You can set it to automatically start whenever your meetings start. So this is if you created a meeting, then your meetings, the meeting summary will automatically start. Sometimes you want this on, sometimes you don't. So I never put this in automatic mode. I just keep it as is. Then you can scroll down here. The next section is called Smart Recording. And that's basically what it's doing. We know we can all record, and we've been doing that for a long time. But what this does is it actually gives you recording of highlights, summary, and smart chapters that exist. And I'll show you an example of this in just a minute. And then they also have a new meeting coach that's in there as well. So like for me, I can go in now after this meeting and look at my meeting coach and go, okay, was I doing an okay job, as far as the way I ran my meeting and maybe other things, but I'll show you that in just a minute. So let me go ahead and go in. I'll show you the meeting summary. So once you've had a meeting and you're finished with your meeting, this meeting summary, if you've recorded it, will show up in this AI companion section. They do send you an email notification so you can go find it, but you can always find it here. So if I click AI companion, I'll see a few examples of my meetings. And so let's say I see this one for CTLE communications meeting that we had. I click on this and you'll see these are the sections that it gives me. It gives me a recap of my meeting. It gives me next steps and see how it knew who I was. So it said, Greg will try to use AI to generate meeting summary notes from the transcript or whatever. And then it gives you a summary. Like I said, it does a pretty good job, but it's not perfect in any means. But that's where you can always find the meeting summary. And I guess I've not used this before, but you can even edit this if you wanted to from here. So that's the meeting summary section that exists under AI Companion. Now let me show you the other piece was the recording highlights. Where did I put that one? Oh, here's an example of one. So we did, Marcella, Isis, and I did a session on radical hospitality in the classroom. And you can see this is the standard. There was always a transcript, always a video. You could do the speed and clipping it, things like that. But the new features now are this highlights feature, this summary of it, because it knows the transcript. And then it actually sections it out, just like, in YouTube, you can do chapters in a video. It does the same thing. So it actually sectioned this out into, I'm not sure how many chapters it sectioned it out to 7 chapters, 6 or 7 chapters, I guess. And then it explained what the webinar was on. So I could basically go in here, and if I sent this link to somebody else, I could send them that link, and this is what they would see. They wouldn't just see the video, but they would see the smart chapters here. So I can click on any one of these and go directly to that spot in the video. So that's a great feature to have. And this is the My Meeting Coach. You can see where talk to listen ratio. It says if you're patient, the longest spiel on something, I guess, was almost 11 minutes. That was probably my spot, I guess. And then filler words. It talks about filler words. And then about 150 words per minute. So you can kind of see, and then they show you even the recommendations of what you should be at. and I know in the next couple months, they're building this part of it out, and they're going to have that expanded even more with additional new features that can help give you coaching. I think they're having one that's going to be called presentation coaching. That's going to have additional features in there as well. So this is a great tool to use. Both this smart recording and this the meeting summary are two great tools to use in an AI companion. All right, so next I'm going to go on to Copilot because I'm going to try to stay within that 30-minute time frame. If you go to copilot.microsoft.com and open that up, you'll go directly to here. Now, I don't think it looks quite like this when you're not logged in. So what you're wanting to do is you're going to go over here to the side and you can see I'm logged in. You'll be able to click over here and sign in. You want to sign in with your St. Leo credentials. So sign in with your first last name at St. Leo, and then put in your name. And let me go pull this up because I have the instructions here. So here are the instructions. Basically, once you get here, select the sign in button in the upper right hand corner. And so that's where it'll be, right up here. And then select sign in with your work or school account. And so if I were to click here, you would see right here, and it may show up there, I'm not sure exactly. It would say, you know, work or what was it? Your work or school account. And that's when you want to log in with your school account. Once you've logged in, and it's going to prompt you to go through your Okta credentials. Once you're signed in and you've done it correctly with your St. Leo credentials, you should see this green shield protected button. If that doesn't show up, then it didn't go through correctly. And if it doesn't go through correctly and you have an issue, just reach out to me and let me know. But once you get this green protected button, that means anything you put in here, like I said, is data protected and they don't scrape it for anything. And so it should be fully protected on their end. But like I said, I wouldn't put anything sensitive in there. I won't even put my own name in there or anybody else's name either. That's just me. But so let's go ahead and dive in. Let's just ask, what is Copilot? And let's just have it tell us what Copilot is. So it's an AI-powered assistant. And that's really how I look at any of these chatbots, is like an assistant, you know, someone that you work with that you might want to ask questions to and get feedback from. Some of the obviously functionality is a conversational chat interface, you know, being able to have really good conversation back and forth about some sort of topic or topics that you're interested in learning about. It's great for generating summaries and emails and text-based content based on your prompts that you have. I use it all the time to summarize, and I'll show you an example in just a minute. It does have image creation, so that one's kind of cool. I could ask it to create, you know, an example of teaching and learning animal or something like that, or just make something up and just watch what it creates. It usually gives you three or four examples. And those you can actually just go ahead and download and keep them. So that's a great feature to have. One of the cool parts about it is you could just go to the website and pull it up. You can have it set up with Bing search. So I think it works, you know, even in Google and Chrome. I happen to use Microsoft Edge. And so because I'm logged into Microsoft Edge over here, it actually shows up as this little icon over to the right. And I use this all the time to be able to read different pages from here as well. So there's multiple ways to get in, but if you just want to have it right on the page, that's okay. And you can copy different links. The good part about it is connected directly to the internet. And so anything recent it's going to talk about. So I could go, let me see if I can find, let me pull up a, I'll pull up our web page real quick and I'll show you how easy it is. Give me a summary of the following website. And I post the link in here and just hit enter. And you could do this with any web page you wanted to, but it knows where it's at, and then it starts to give you a summary. I use this all the time with articles that I don't have time to read like 6 pages of an article. So I'll throw it in here and I'll say, give me a summary and give me, 5 to-dos, or takeaways from this. And it literally goes through and reads it and spits it out. So rather than sit there and read a really long article, I can do this within a matter of a minute by having this. And I can continue the conversation. Does this website have any information on AI? And then we'll find out from there. Was there a question that somebody had?
We can wait until the end. It was just neither Jackie nor I were able to see the green protected
Okay.
notification in the corner, even though we are logged in through St. Leo credentials.
Okay. Yeah, we can take a look at that at the end and make sure. I know I had a little bit of an issue in the beginning, so hopefully we can get you logged in, figure out what the problem is. So anyway, you can see it's a great tool to be able to use. The cool part about this as well is you can go ahead and you could copy everything that's in here. I could export it. So my entire conversation, I could export it. I could even have it read it back to me. You can have it read it back to you back and forth. If you want to start a new conversation, there's a new topic and then start over again. So this is just a great tool to be able to use to research different things, create, emails, summarize different things. There's it really sky's the limit on how you can use it. But like I said, using it as more of an assistant too, having it generate different ideas is a good way of doing it. So I think let me make sure I covered. I know we're right at about time, so I want to be respectful of people's times, but was there any particular questions that anybody has?
Same one we posted that Kalila and I had about getting that green thing that you have.
Okay, yeah. So one more thing I'm going to show you. So we just Carrie just updated our AI resources. So if you're interested, this page here has been updated. You can go under technology and new AI resources. This page has been updated, different tools, and we'll have to change that to Copilot, the name Copilot. But you can get to different information from here. Each one of these is a separate page with a lot of different articles and information on there. So if you're interested in checking that out, absolutely do that. We tried to organize it in a little bit better way. Before it was all on one page and listed down. So Carrie did a great job of organizing it that way. All right, so let me, if there's no other questions, let me go ahead and stop my shared screen.